They said you wanted to see me, Coach?
Yeah, man. Step on up into my office. It's HomeSpun Sports with Coach John Montgomery. Sports talk with a twist of down-home wisdom. Welcome. We are so glad you are here. You have tuned in to HomeSpun Sports. It's sports talk with a twist of down-home wisdom. I'm your host, the coach, John Montgomery. I'm right here in good old H-Town, Houston, Texas. My partner in crime, the last P in the shell, my baby boy up in Oklahoma City. What's up, Slam?
Can't call it, Coach. How you doing, man?
Man, let me tell you, man. Hey, I am so excited about this show. Ladies and gentlemen, we are show enough in tall cotton this morning. Our very special guest is the consummate professional in the coaching profession. There is no question about that. In a career that has spanned over 6 decades, this gentleman was the quarterback coach on the 1986 national championship team at Penn State under Joe Paterno. He has been a head coach in a Power 5 school at Wake Forest University. He has been quarterback coach at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was the assistant head coach / quarterback coach, Indianapolis Colts. He was the head football coach of the Indianapolis Colts. He was the quarterback coach at the Baltimore Ravens. He was the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach of the Baltimore Ravens. And then again, he was a head football coach of the Detroit Lions. He has been he was the assistant head coach of Miami Dolphins, quarterback coach. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion. My good and dear friend, ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome one of the all-time greats to ever don a cap and whistle, Coach Jim Caldwel.
Hey.
Thanks a lot, John, for that introduction. I don't know if I can live up to that one.
Man, you kidding me? Jim, man, oh man, thank you so much, man, for taking the time out from your busy schedule to be a part of our show. It means the world to me, boy. We showed up to appreciate this, man.
Well,
absolutely, Coach.
Right quick, I got to go back. 1985, I'm hired at the University of Pittsburgh to Foge Fazio brought me there to coach the tight ends. And Foge told me, said, John, they tell me you know Texas, go to Texas and get me some speed. I got to have me some speed. I found a wide receiver at Wilmer Hutchins High School, Dallas Metroplex area. Darren Gillespie. 6'3", 200 pounds, could run like the wind blows and jump out of the gym. Now, this is January, and I got a late start. So he'd already committed to visit Oklahoma State, Colorado, and Arizona State. Could have gone anywhere in the country that he wanted to go. Mom said, travel, see the world. So he was open to places like Pitt. Well, I talked him out of visiting Oklahoma State. It's January now. I'm scratching, trying to make up ground fast. So, and the mom liked me. I had good rapport with the mom. I could tell, man, you hand the rocket cradle, hand the rule the world. So I'm in there. So it's a basketball game in the gym. And I told mom, she said, will you come to the game, coach? I said, I will be there. I'm going to sit by you. So I'm all dressed up slim, got my shirt and tie on, sport coat on. I walk up in the gym and I can see her across the gym floor, and she's grinning from ear to ear, sitting next to this guy that I don't know from Adam, but I noticed he had big time coach written all over him. And this guy was dressed to the nine, and he's in this lady's ear, and it's obvious that they're having a very good conversation. I'm thinking, uh-oh, time to go to work now. So I get over there, and I walk up, and I extend my hand. I'm John Montgomery. I'm Jim Caldwel, University of Colorado. Well, we sat there. I can't recruit now because and he, he's recruited. We both do it. Long story short, I get back to Pittsburgh, first recruiting meeting, and I'm in there with some heavyweights. Was Sal Sensuri, Trent Walters, Joe Moore of the Joe Moore Award, guy by the name of Ron Turner, Norv Turner's younger brother, and Foge is going over all these recruits. And so get to Darren Gillespie, this wide receiver, and he goes, y'all all know the new guy? The new guy's recruiting him, Montgomery. So nobody knew about the kid and nobody knew me. So everybody's getting their take on the kid. I got up and said who the competition was and everything. When the meeting is, just before the meeting over, Ron Turner says, the new guy, the receiver from Dallas, that kid, whoever his name is, yeah, Gillespie, we're taking him. If we can get him, we're taking him. And my mouth was up. The meeting's over. He comes up and this, I'm Ron Turner. He said, listen, I hear that guy's a heck of a player. And you know why I endorsed you, why I empowered you? I go, no. He goes, well, Jim Caldwell and I go all the way back to Northwestern, and Jim tells me he's a heck of a player. I want to publicly thank you. You gave me credibility, my friend. Thanks.
We gave you credibility, and you got the recruit as well. I lost it.
Oh,
I did. He was a big Dallas Cowboy fan. We got Tony Dorsett to call, and that was a wrap. But the genesis of my success was your empowerment, and I want to thank you for that, bro.
Well, thanks a lot. We were chasing a real fine athlete. He was a 7-foot high jumper. I know you remember that.
He was
incredible back in those days. You know, you didn't have a whole lot of 7-foot high jumpers outside of the Olympics, right?
That kid is state champion high jumper. He was, Darren Gillespie. I think kid got his degree, and 1 year went on and had been a success.
Well, that's great,
Coach. My dad always said, and one thing that we always discussed on the show is diamonds, racehorses, and quarterbacks are only as good as you manage them. With the playoffs coming up, they're starting in earnest next weekend. Give us an inside scoop on things to look for, in your opinion, things to look out for.
Well, let me start by saying this, just in terms of the playoffs. First of all, there's been 55 Super Bowls. This will be the 56th one coming up. Out of the 48 Super Bowls, they've been won by Hall of Famers or individuals that are going to be Hall of Fame. Okay, so think about that. So you got to have a great quarterback. So follow the quarterbacks. You take a look at the playoffs and see the guys that are playing extremely well, the Aaron Rodgers, the Tom Brady's. I mean, those are the guys that are going to make a difference. One of those guys is going to end up on top. Not those two guys in particular, but I'm talking about out of the group of great quarterbacks that you have. But typically to get to that, it's only been a few exceptions, right? Only been 7 exceptions. But the fact of the matter is, look at the real good quarterbacks or the guys that have gotten hot and played extremely well. Hopefully Matthew Stafford, one of my old guys, hopefully he gets going and gets rolling and has a chance to make it. But yeah, follow those good quarterbacks. And you're right about that. You have to learn how to deal with them. But more than anything else, you got to know when to step back out of the way and let them do what they do.
Of course.
Jim, and my old coach said that diamonds, racehorses, and quarterbacks. I've always believed there are 3 things that are as good as you mold them and shape them. You have been a quarterback coach. I mean, Jim, you coaching quarterbacks at Penn State in the 80s on a national championship team. And Jim, in the NFL, Peyton Manning. Tell some of the quarterbacks you've mentored.
Yes, I've been fortunate. I had Brad Johnson down at Tampa my first year.
Now, you can win a Super Bowl with Brad Johnson. You can coach.
We didn't win it. They won it the next year, but nevertheless, really a great guy to work with. Sean King was on that team too. Sean was an excellent player down at Tulane.
Tulane Green Wave.
Absolutely, and just a tremendous, smart, tough, hardworking guy. And then I went to Indianapolis. Obviously, everybody knows who we had there. It was Peyton Manning, who had been there 5 years before we got there. But he really started playing even better than he had played before. And he was a great player, a real interesting guy to coach because of the fact that he was so doggone smart, right? So it's like teaching a gifted student. You walk into that meeting room, he's looked at every film that you've looked at. And not only that, he's got hypermnesia, meaning that everything he reads, everything he sees, he remembers it. Everything he writes down, he remembers it. And I mean, I could send him a text right now and ask him about a play where he broke the record throwing the ball against San Diego, against old San Diego, right? So now the LA Chargers, but nevertheless to Brandon Stokely, and he will tell you what hash it was on, what the formation was, what the play was called, and what adjustment he made and why. Okay. I mean, throughout his entire career, but an amazing guy. So he was a great guy to coach. And then I went on, I had Joe Flacco with Baltimore. And Joe was one of those guys that got on a run there toward the end. He had one of the best playoff runs of any quarterback. And you may see that happen this year as well. I'm hoping that Matt Stafford does indeed that. And then I also once I went to Detroit, I had Stafford there, who was really a quality guy. I had a lot of great backups too, as well. So they were a lot of fun.
Jim, you got your classic prototype pocket quarterback, and you mentored those. Luck, you had him, right?
I didn't have Luck. I left before Luck came up.
Okay. But at Indianapolis, so you've coached the drop back guy. Now you're seeing an evolution to the athlete type. Lamar has made it fashionable. Lamar Jackson at Baltimore has made it fashionable. Can you win a Super Bowl with those kind of guys?
Certainly. I think, well, first of all, I had Tyrod Taylor too at Baltimore. He was Joe's backup. So we had to institute some things in our package that could highlight his skills and ability. So what you don't want to do, and I think this is what a lot of coaches try and do, they go in and they try to take a quarterback and fit him into a system. No. You got to find out what this guy does extremely well and then sort of adjust your thinking towards that end, because those are the guys going to make a difference. So we had a different package for Joe Flacco, and we had a little bit more of a spicy package in terms of a guy being able to show his athleticism with Tyrod. So, so I do think that without question, and you're going to see one of these very, very athletic guys win it. I mean, you've seen it already. Steve Young was an athletic guy, right? He could run around and throw the ball. There were a number of guys that could move and run. We're just seeing now a lot more, and we're seeing obviously a lot more black athletes that are playing quarterback position, which we didn't see way back when.
The same thing. I mean, you got a guy that can what Tom Brady does, what Peyton Manning did well, Eli, those guys. But then again, those guys who are those athletic guys, Jim, the same thing that make you love them, when they start doing their thing, the pucker factor kicks in now because they one hit away.
No, that's exactly right. And the other thing too, ownership doesn't like to see their quarterbacks get exposed that much. They got a lot of money riding on him. But an athletic guy that's playing well in the league is Josh Allen. He's one of those guys. He's big. He's rugged enough to withstand, obviously hits out of the pocket and those kinds of things. Obviously, Lamar's doing it, but Lamar's hurt, right? To your point. But I do think you're going to see a lot more. Justin Herbert, even though you may not visualize him as an athletic quarterback, this guy's 6 foot, 5 or so, 230 pounds, and he can run. He's probably maybe the second or third fastest quarterback in the league because he can move his feet and he can get out there. So I think you're seeing some of these guys that are very, very athletic that are adding that extra element to it. One more thing, a couple of guys were talking about different defensive coordinators they visit with and said, who would you rather face, a guy that's a drop back quarterback or a guy that can also drop back, but then also he can get out of the pocket and hurt you. Mahomes, right? That's why Mahomes is so deadly. That's the other one we're talking about, really good quarterbacks. Just follow them. Mahomes is one of those guys at the top that certainly could end up in the Super Bowl as well.
They can beat you with their legs as well.
Absolutely.
Jim, you mentor, and talk to us about your mentoring program that you have. You do a thing with Doug Williams, right?
Yes. So it was something that starts called the Quarterback Summit, NFL Quarterback Summit. Something that started actually with the Black Coaches Hall of Fame. So Shaq Harris and Doug Williams were the guys that got it started. And they called me up, and Jimmy Ray was the other guy, along with
Jimmy
Mark.
Ray, man, that's a name.
Yeah, great coach and tremendous insight on everything, right? So we first started it out about 4 years ago. And it was actually from money from the Black Football Coaches Hall of Fame. But then also, some of us did some work for free. We had about 15, 20 guys the first time, right? The league caught on and heard about us, and then they started to put a little bit more money in it. We ballooned up to 75, and last year we had 150. So what we do is we take these young guys, and we're looking at what we're trying to do is increase the number of individuals that are ready and prepared to go into professional football into the quarterback room, be it assistant quarterback coach, be it a quality control coach on offense, be it quarterback coach himself or offensive coordinator. And then we also deal with the head coach as well within that structure.
Wow.
Now,
where do y'all do this? Where is it physically held?
Yeah.
Is this all virtual or is this in a building?
No, I was going to say, you get a kick out of this. The first two that we had were at Morehouse. They allowed us to use their facility, and we flew into Atlanta and we did it there. And then once the pandemic hit, we became virtual, but that had been our home base, which was great. Obviously one of the most historic, HBCUs in all of the country. So we enjoyed going there. They did a great job. They were hospitable. They have great facilities. So it was a great place to hold it now. And we look to kind of expand every year. And now we've got a GM summit attached to that for general managers that are guys that are preparing to be GMs. We give them different topics. They have an opportunity to speak. And here's the real thing, the interesting thing, both Slim and Coach, the clientele, the people that are listening are owners, presidents, all the decision makers in the league, plus people in the front office. Troy Vincent has been very strong within that. He has a team of people that work with us as well. So we're getting the right kind of people in front of those individuals that are making decisions.
Fantastic. Much needed and fantastic. Jim, tell us about your better half, Cheryl. You and Cheryl have a foundation. All right, you locate that's right there in the Chapel Hill area.
Yeah. So what we've done, John, my wife Cheryl and I, we dated for 8 years, and we've been married for 44 years. So 52 years of my life, she's been my rock and backbone, and you name it. And also sometimes she knows a lot of football too. So she'll tell
me about it, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. Andrea has been my rock. The coaches' wives, they won't have to stand in line at the pearly gates. There'll be a little side door.
Get their own
they
crown.
Just come right on in to the front.
That's right. That's exactly right. So how we developed it, Jim and Cheryl Caldwel Foundation was first established in 2009. And we always felt that when we got in position, we wanted to make certain that we were doing something for underserved communities, right? So what we do is we put these classrooms in facilities where they have kids. And a lot of times you'll find after school programs and things of that nature at different small little institutions, charter schools, boys and girls clubs, those kinds of things where they got kids around, but they don't have maybe the resources. So what we do is we go in, we find a physical space in their building, and we put a 21st century classroom in it. We'll put 20 to 30 computer terminals, another 10 or 12 laptops, plus smart boards. And then we also make it in conjunction with local colleges that we bring them in to teach the kids. So after school program, there a lot of kids go home. They don't have access to computers, right? Mm-hmm. On weekends, they don't have access to computers. Well, we put facilities in place to do just that. We have 9 of them. So we have 3 in Indianapolis. We have 2 in Detroit. We have 2 in our hometown. And then here in Winston-Salem, where we live, we have 2 as well. And so it's been a labor of love for us, but we're just putting in, actually, one just opened up 2 weeks ago back in our hometown at a new Boys and Girls Club, which was tremendous.
That's fantastic.
Way to go, Coach.
Man, that's kudos to you, brother, and I tip my hat to you on that. So, Jim, everybody gonna look like an expert. The playoffs begin in earnest next Saturday. Who do you like? Who do you like? Give me some scoop. Tell me what's gonna. You said Hall of Fame quarterback. I know I got a pick, and I'm gonna talk about it later on in the show. It's a guy I like that nobody. He's under the radar, but you're the quarterback.
Who do you like, Coach?
Jim. So who do you like?
It's tough for me to bet against a guy who's been playing extremely well all year long, and that's Aaron Rodgers. Even though when we were at Detroit, we had to compete against him, and he was a thorn in your side consistently. But this guy can do a little bit of everything. You know, he can run, he can throw. He's extremely accurate. He's a great leader, right? So you can't count him out. He's going to be right there in the mix somewhere along the way, unless they get upset, which
and they got home field. And they got home field.
And they got home field. And Green Bay, and it's not like Green Bay is in the Bahamas, right? It's going to be cold. You know, being from Wisconsin myself, I know how cold it's going to be up there, right? But the other guy would be, I would not count out Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes, you know, they're starting to hit their stride. I think they're going to get enough guys back on the periphery. And, you know, obviously we saw number 10 limping around the field the other day, but hopefully he can get himself back.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek, he's going to be all right.
I think so too. You know, he's got Kelsey out tight end.
Tyreek Hill, and I Patrick Mahomes, I get it. Tyreek Hill is the catalyst to that offense because he runs over the top of the coverage and just opens up a plethora of things for the Travis Kelce's of the world. And Tyreek Hill, and there's not a spot on that field that Patrick Mahomes can't get him the ball.
That's right. That's right. And that's what makes him special. Now, you've seen the evolution before anybody even knew a whole lot about Tyreek Hill. He was running by people, right? So finally, at first, they blow the roof off with the deep passes, deep crossing routes, and those kinds of things. Patrick got an arm that can get the ball to him. So now what people do after they've had that Super Bowl run, they bracket him. He takes 2 defenders out of play. So that's right. That's why Kelsey's got so much room to run, right? You know, they just got a number of guys now that can you know, in that what would you call it, support role that are really doing a tremendous job of getting open. So you know, I think Tyreek Hill is indeed, without question, he is indeed the catalyst, I believe.
Yeah.
Besides the quarterback, there's
no question. Tyreek Hill, in essence, forces the defense to play with 9.
He does, yes,
because you know what 2 of them are.
That's right.
No question. Yeah. Jim, man, look.
Don't count Brady out. Hey, don't count Brady out now. Don't count Brady out. As crazy as that might sound, this guy somehow finds a way. They galvanize around him, and they do a nice job. And then the other guy is Josh Allen. I'm really anticipating that he's going to have a great run here. I think it's his time.
How much? Okay, so you say don't count Brady out, but Antonio gone, and we know all about that. But for weapons, Tampa, and I go back with Todd Bowles. Todd and I worked together at Morehouse College, and I know you know Todd. And so I'm certainly pulling for Todd and Bruce Arians. Where is the offensive firepower for Tampa after Gronk and Mike and Evans at Tampa? Where's that coming from?
Fournette will be back, right? So he's on his way back, right? I think he'll come out of off of IR and it's going to give him that extra pump. When he left, really, that's when the offense kind of stalled a little bit. He was running the ball extremely well, and then also I think he might have been one of the most productive pass catchers that he had. He dumped the ball to him quite often, and he made, obviously made some things happen. So I think that group, obviously they lost Godwin. That's tough. But I think they can make up for it. They got a good defense. They can get some turnovers. They can make some things happen, and they have experience, which without question is extremely valuable.
But Jim, listen, man, thank you again so very much, and congratulations to you and Cheryl on what you're doing with your foundation and what you and Doug are doing with this summit, developing NFL personnel and quarterback development. Black Monday is coming up. We hearing all this stuff. I'm looking. I'm gonna keep the porch light on for the National Football League to have Jim Caldwel back on the sideline
Well, I
somewhere.
appreciate it. Well, I appreciate it. I'd certainly like that at the right place or in the
Yeah.
right
Well,
place.
yeah. And because let me tell you something. It's a quarterback-driven league, and you are a quarterback coach par excellence and a show enough first-class man, Jim. I tell you, knowing you's blessed my life. Coming on our show has certainly enhanced it, and we're eternally grateful to you. God bless you, bro.
Absolutely, Coach.
And I want to wish you a happy belated Founders Day. Newt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. It's uncommon for
Go
a
on,
Q to
Coach.
wish a cap a well, right?
Yeah,
Go on, Coach.
I want to do that. I certainly want to do that. Jim, man, thanks, bro. We sure enough do appreciate you coming on our show.
Thank you so much,
Thanks
Coach.
a lot. Enjoy it. I enjoy your show. You guys are very entertaining. A lot of great guests. Appreciate
Well,
it.
thank you, man. God bless
Thank you so
Jim.
much,
Thanks,
Coach.
man.
Enjoy the games today.
Will do.
Wow,
man. You gonna keep rolling them in, Coach. That was crazy.
Man, I tell you, man. Let me tell you, he is the consummate pro. I mean, you go on Wikipedia and look at what that man has amassed in the coaching profession. Even just, the stuff that he's doing behind the scenes, and with Doug Williams and the Black College Hall of Fame, and mentoring, and that foundation that he and his wife are doing. I mean, this guy, he's about it. I mean, a first class guy in every sense of the word. Jim Caldwel. Ladies and gentlemen, once and again, I bring to you Slim's Pickings. Take it away, bro.
Yes, sir. Congratulations to the class of the 22 Black College Hall of Fame. Names like Ben Coach, Livingstone College, Donald Driver, Alcorn State, John Big Train Moody, Morris Brown College, Roscoe Nance, Tuskegee University, Nate Newton, Florida A&M University, Coach William Billy Nix, Morris Brown, and Prairie View A&M, and Sammy White, Grambling State. Now, in the last 5 years, there's only been 12 HBCU players drafted in the NFL. Darius Leonard of South Carolina State Bulldogs was the 36th player taken in the 2018 draft. So far to date, that's the highest player any HBCU has ever gotten to the NFL, rank-wise. Now, look for all that to change with prospect Akil Glass, quarterback from Alabama A&M. He's 6'4", 220 pounds, and has thrown for 3,568 yards, 36 touchdowns, with only 6 interceptions. Jacoby Durant, also South Carolina State Bulldog, MEAC Defensive Player of the Year, with 12 career interceptions, and 2 of those coming again against the Clemson Tigers. Cricket Celebration Bowl, Dennis Thomas, Defensive MVP Marquise Bell, and Isaiah Land, both FAMU Rattlers. Isaiah Land, 19 sacks for the 2021 football season, and was named SWAC Defensive Player of the Year. Rest in peace to the iconic and the legendary SWAC coach, track and field, Barbara Jacket. Barbara was the head coach, track and field, for the Panthers of Prairie View A&M from 1965 to 1991. Some of Coach Jackett's triumphs include 10 of them NAIA titles, being head coach at the 1992 Summer Olympics, which, by the way, made Coach Jackett the second African-American woman to ever hold that title, being inducted into the International Women's Sports Hall of Fame in 1995, and the U.S. Track and Field Cross Country Coaches Association Hall of Fame in 2001. Well done, good and faithful servant. Stay tuned, sports fans. And that's Slim's Pickens.
Hell of a job, young man. Hell of a job. Slim, I knew Barbara Jacket well, man. I was a pup at Prairie View A&M.
I'm about to say, Coach. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I was a pup at Prairie View A&M, and I'd be coming into the mini dome, the Billy Nix mini dome, and she'd see me, Jelly Roll, you better hurry up down there and get dressed and get on that practice field. But
what was your nickname again, Coach? What was your nickname again?
Jelly
what was
Roll.
it again?
Everybody knew me, man. That's what, man, I'll tell you something, bro. Yeah, Jelly Roll. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. And I'll tell you something. Oh, two guys that you mentioned on this that were inductees into the Black College Football Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. Two quick stories, if I may. Billy Nix, the legendary college football hall, not just Black College Football Hall of Fame, college football Hall of Fame coach, Billy Nix. The physical education complex, basketball arena, the mini dome at Prairie View is the Billy Nix Arena. Mm-hmm. And when I was a kid at Prairie View, I'm a freshman coming to practice, he would hang around and you would see him in there. And one day I was walking through there on my way to go get my ankles taped, get dressed for practice. He saw me and he said, "Come here, boy." And I went up to him. He said, "What's your name?" I said, "I'm John Montgomery, sir." He looked down at me. He said, "You Big Mon, son." I said, "Yes, sir." "John Montgomery, your daddy, boy." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "You ain't never gonna be good as your pops." So, but man, he was a great man, a great coach, and congratulations on being inducted. Sammy White, great player at Grambling State University. I played against Sammy when he was at Grambling. Yeah. And in 2011, we were both assistants for Doug on that championship, on that SWAC championship team of 2011. We won the SWAC. And I never will forget, show you what kind of guy Sammy White was. We grinding at the office late one night, leaving out there about 11:30, 11:45, headed to the parking lot. I'm still living in the hotel because I hadn't moved my stuff up yet, moved you and Andrea up and your mom up. And I'm going to the hotel, and we get out to the parking lot, and Sammy White reaches in his pocket and flips me some car keys. And I'm like, "What?" He says, that right there. It was a Ford Taurus and a nice car. And I'm like, "What?" Yeah. He said, "Drive it. Take it." I go, "What you mean?" He said, "Dude, you ain't got no car. Take it till you get yours." I go like, "Man, Sammy," he go, "Dude, I got 4 or 5 of them at home." Sammy and his wife Penny lived in Monroe, still live in Monroe, but that just shows you what kind of guy he was. Sammy White, not only a hell of a player, but a first-class man. And congratulations, Sammy, on your Hall of Fame induction.
Again, Coach. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. College football, Coach.
Yay.
Now, Deion went and got him another one.
I saw that
one.
I saw that. Got that receiver.
Kevin Coleman.
Kevin Coleman. That Coleman kid, right?
Yeah, Kevin Coleman. Yes, sir.
He did.
From St. Mary's High School in
St. Louis,
Missouri. St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
Offered by Alabama, offered by Georgia, offered by Southern Cal, offered by Michigan, Ohio State. This kid, top drawer, could have gone anywhere he wanted to go to the country.
More impressive than that, Coach, Stanford and Vanderbilt were the last two on the list with the check marks, which mean he had grades.
So there you go. He could have gone to Stanford or Vanderbilt, so you know he's smart. So he said, "I'm going to tell you what else, too." And I'm going to tell you something else, too. He's letting me tell you how smart he is. Mm. He's smart enough to understand that I can go to a HBCU, get a well-rounded education, find out who I am as a man, be mentored by a strong Black man on an HBCU campus, get ready for life, because first and foremost, HBCUs get you ready for life.
Come on, Coach.
I'm also going to have a fat pocket because I got name, image, and likeness. Or as you said last week in your pickings, new inducing language. Okay, and again, these HBCU college presidents, they better get on board and shape up and understand that that's the name of the game. And if you gonna have name, image, and likeness, you must get corporate sponsorship. Dion has it. He gonna keep it. And Dion, man, congratulations, bro. I salute you, man. Thumbs up, big thumbs up. Way to go, man. Yeah, no question.
Pro football, coach.
Well, Slim, well, we got to do.
But still got Georgia. We still got the championship rematch. We still got to talk about the SEC championship. Is going to be the national championship coming up on Monday.
Yeah,
we got a rematch, coach.
Got a rematch, man.
We got a rematch.
And you know what, Mildred? This game has been like, it's like on a Georgia and Alabama have been on a collision course, head-on collision course since spring practice. Think about it. For the 2021 season, whenever Alabama wasn't number one, Georgia was number one. Whenever Georgia wasn't number one, Alabama was on number one. Georgia ain't won a national championship since the Herschel Walker days in 1980. Georgia hadn't beat Alabama since 2007. Mm-hmm. You know what? If Alabama can pull this off, then this will mean they have won back-to-back titles twice in the same decade. Think about that, Slim. Think about that.
That is
I tell you, in the SEC championship game, Georgia, Alabama spread them out, didn't challenge them on third and short, spread them out. They knew they had Bryce Young and he could make the throws. This time, though, Alabama does not have Mitchie. Just
still out with that ACL, coach. That he's down. They do not have John Mechie, and Georgia's going to have to figure out a way to take advantage of that. They also have to get pressure on Bryce Young. Because if we go back to the championship game, coach, Georgia, top-rated defense in college football, but they did not have any sacks at the end of that game.
Didn't sack him one time. And did not sack him one time, Slim. And that's the thing about Alabama, about this Bryce Young kid. See, when he's running, he's looking to go downtown. He's looking to make the throw downtown. He ain't looking to run. And he can. He's athletic. But 0 sacks in their first meeting. Also, here's the thing about Joe. In the Orange Bowl, in the Georgia-Michigan game, Georgia's offensive line stepped up big time. They're going to have to do that tomorrow when they meet Alabama in this national championship game. They can't be in the SEC championship game. They went 2 for 13 third down conversions. That ain't going to get it done, Slim.
That ain't going to work. What I find interesting, coach, is that the comparison between Alabama and Georgia now, it's like Georgia is now the Alabama that they were back in 2013 and 2014. When A.J. McCarron and Blake Sims was the quarterback, they weren't athletic. They were game managers. Now Alabama has a spread offense with an athletic quarterback that can not only run, but can make the deep pass.
I was looking at something. The SEC sure had the strength of the SEC. The SEC is playing in the title game, in the national championship game for the 7th straight year. Okay? The SEC has won the national championship in 12 of the last 16 football games. Okay? Now, talk about Alabama's strength. Caesars Palace, Las Vegas. They like Georgia to win Saturday by 2.5 points. Slim, this is the first time since October of 2015 that Alabama has been an underdog. Yep. Who do you like?
Man, it's hard to beat a good team twice, coach. It's hard to beat a team
twice. Who do you
twice,
like?
And I think
you ain't running for political office. Who do you like?
Coach, Georgia got them figured out this time. Georgia got them, like I said, they put pressure on Bryce Young, fix what they did in the championship game, get some pressure on him. They got to get him down, and they got to take advantage that the number one receiver that they got is not going to be in the game anymore.
Who do you like?
I got Georgia winning, Coach.
You got Georgia. You got Georgia.
Who you got?
I'm not gonna change horses in the middle of the stream. I said all along, Alabama's the best team in college football. I think Nick Saban is the greatest coach. And I ain't just I'm in collegiate sports. Pro football, you buy your chance to win. And well, up until this NIL, you weren't buying your chance to win. But at any rate, when you look at what Nick Saban has had to deal with in terms of social media, the transfer portal, that high turnover rate that he's had to deal with annually, with coaches turnover, how many coordinators, assistant coaches that he's had to deal with, it is no
and players
question.
getting drafted.
He let me tell you something. In college sports, and I ain't just talking about football. In college sports, Nick Saban is the GOAT. And I'm gonna tell you, Slim, he finds a way to win tomorrow night. I like Alabama. I like Alabama 35-31. Roll
35-31.
Tide.
Okay. All right, Coach. Now, we got pro football.
Yep.
Playoff scenarios and everything like that. Before the games go live today, what's your take?
Well, here's what I'm gonna be watching. It pretty much Hayes in the barn. If San Diego, if the LA Chargers beat the Raiders, one going, one staying. The 49ers can find a way to beat the Rams. I don't think they do. The 49ers are in. I'll tell you, I think the thing you want to watch, and I thought Jim Caldwel made a very good point. Quarterback play as the playoffs start in earnest, and everybody's got to go to Green Bay. I'm going to be very careful to see just how far that New England Patriot defense can go. And I say the defense because Mac Jones ain't quite ready to carry them over. I want to see how the loss of Antonio Brown affects Tampa Bay. I know they're going to get Leonard Fournette back. Let's see, can Todd Bowles and that Tampa Bay defense rise up as these pairings come down? But I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I think it's going to be interesting to see. No question.
Real quick, Coach. Colts beat the Jags.
Say what now?
Colts beat the Jags.
Can the Colts beat the Jags? Yeah. Oh, Colts. Yeah. Colts got to beat the Jags. Colts got to
beat the Jags.
Yeah. Colts. Yeah. The Colts. Yeah, please. Yeah. Jack Yates High School can beat the Jags. Ain't no question. Yeah.
All right now. Okay.
Yeah. The Colts beat the Jags and they grab a spot. But you know what? You can't trust Carson Wentz. They would have got. Listen, the Colts would have got in last week if Carson Wentz makes that throw against the Raiders. That boy Ty Hilton running down the sideline. You got to make that throw. The Colts will beat them, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't even get to it, Coach. It's been a pleasure getting to the studio with you again.
Always.
Good to see you, man. Hell of a guest we had, and you take care of yourself, all right?
You do the same, my brother. You do the same. Stay warm up there. Give my love to everybody in Oklahoma City. Man, sure good to see you again.
Oh, Will? No, you know I will. Tell Mama I love him.
I will, partner. I will. Take care, buddy.
All right, Coach. All right.
Mm-hmm. And finally, everybody gonna look like a genius the first Sunday in February, Super Bowl. And my good and dear friend Jim Caldwel pontificated on who he likes, and you heard Slim and I kick it back and forth on the playoffs. Ain't nobody talking about the team and the quarterback that I'm pulling and praying for. I am, and I'm putting mine on the wood right now. I am pulling for Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'll tell you why. When you look at the Dallas Cowboys, and yes, Dak Prescott has proven that he can play. They ain't beat nobody, but everybody's got issues. Green Bay will Aaron Rodgers be back. Tampa Bay and Antonio. Everybody's got issues. You don't hear nothing about Philadelphia because it's peace in that building. And it's peace in that building because of the leadership of Jalen Hurts. He's tough. He's smart. And he has done nothing since he came from Channelview High School right here in Houston, Texas, from Alabama and a national championship, to the University of Oklahoma and a CFP berth, that would make you think that he's not going to be successful. He walks into the building with a chip on his shoulder, and I'm pulling for him to go all the way. I got the Philadelphia Eagles and my Jalen Hurts. And hey, that's how I see it. 6 o'clock, straight up and down.
Hey, that's how I see it, and that's how it is.
Sure enough.
Thank God.
Thank God.
We get to do this again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's episode of HomeSpun Sports. Sports talk with a twist of down-home wisdom. Make sure you guys have them bells turned on so you don't miss any of our notifications. So you don't miss any of our videos when they come to you live on YouTube. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you hit the comments, hit the like button. Okay, all of our premium content is for you guys. It's all live and it's all real. Thank you so much to Coach Caldwell for being our special guest on show number 20.
Thanks, Jim.
Again, Jalen, we rooting for you, man. And shout out to the brothers over Mega Sci-Fi everywhere. Hey, Coach.
Hey, man.
Go ahead and get up out of here like we came, man.
Hey, bro, you ain't saying nothing but a word. What he said. Bang. Well, all right then. All right.